CBS Sports presentation of the Die Hard 500 has been sponsored by Die Hard, the official battery of NASCAR. Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
We're back. 438 miles complete. 165 laps this time by gets us to 438. The Goodyear blimp giving us these great shots. Stars and Stripes based out of Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls, Captain Dick Ash from Sunrise, Florida. Neil Bonnet and Ned Jarrett up here at the booth. They have Neil back with us, Ken Squire here, and David Hobbs, Mike Joy down there for whatever is going to happen on pit road in these final moments. Playing that card close to the vest for that final pit stop, trying to make it home.
And then he won't have to stop.
Yeah, we almost just overlooked that, but it's going to be close with some of those guys.
Yes.
We heard Robin Pemberton talking about Kyle Petty's car a while ago, how good it ran on the bottom. The last couple of laps, he drove right to the bottom and pulled away from those guys a little bit. He's kind of testing that car. Look what a run he can get on those guys when he takes that bottom lane. And I don't know if that's going to be enough cushion on that last lap to hold that group off behind him. Takes him virtually that back straightaway to reel him in.
And as you see, they've shuffled them another time. You now have Kyle Petty first, Dale Earnhardt second, Ernie Irvan is found third, Bobby Labonte is fourth, Hill in fifth, and in sixth is Brett Bodine, Dale Jarrett seventh, Mark Martin eighth, Terry Labonte right in that group.
And those 9 cars, Ken, have pulled away a little bit from the pack of cars behind them.
9-car lead draft. Here's Mike Joy.
Tim Brewer is the veteran crew chief for rookie Bobby Labonte. With Junior Johnson for a long time. He's going to clock his car as he comes past here at the start-finish stripe. Radio the time to Bobby right in the middle of that lead pack. Tim, where would you like him to be in that pack?
Behind Ernie Irvan or Kyle, either one of them. You know, the car runs pretty good. And those guys today, they've been kind of looking out for Bobby a little bit. So either one of those two guys would be a pretty good guy to run with. But don't expect no friends here on the last lap, because I got a feeling you couldn't find one.
Well, now Kyle has told us that his car works real well on the bottom, and it looks as if Bobby does too.
Our car ran on the bottom awful well earlier today. But, you know, they're out there just kind of playing with each other right now. I don't know who needs to be where, but, you know, our car runs real well with Ernie or Kyle, so that's the place I'd like to see.
Well, Brewer's a poker player. I know he knows more than he's telling.
Trained by Richard Childress in the old days. And then, of course, Junior Johnson.
Yeah,
there's a couple of
the years he spent there didn't hurt him.
Started out in the Grand American ranks with Childress back when Richard was a driver. Bobby Hillin still hanging tough in fifth, and that Brett Bodine looks good in sixth. First pack to second pack, front 9 is about, from this group back to the next group, about 2 4/10 of a second. So if they start racing each other side by side, there's a pretty good chance, as we saw yesterday. It was amazing. Michael Waldrop pulled up to run beside Earnhardt. 2 laps to go. There was a group of 4 cars that were almost 300 feet behind them. And on the end of that group was that kid LaJoy. LaJoy wound up. And those two started to run together up in front, Waldrop and Earnhardt. LaJoy, that whole pack caught up, and LaJoy tried to run Earnhardt down at the line. It was a heck of a finish, and it can happen here. These front cars dice it, but I don't think they will.
Well, I don't think so. There you see Terry Labonte is about to lose the draft of that group of 8 up in front of him. He is just about too far behind now to catch up by himself. So that second pack of cars probably will catch him.
See that line that Kyle Petty takes where he's just a shade down from everybody else out of 2? Gets a good scoot and he's right back out there in line as he goes down that long back straightaway.
He has a good option to do that. If somebody follows him down there, there's a good chance somebody behind him will go high around him. So he's got that option to get in there low. Some of these other guys, they can't do that. If they drop low, somebody drops on the top side of them and they lose that position.
You saw Dale Jarrett pull out there to make a challenge.
Well, he just passed Brett Bodine coming off of that turn, and they're about to lose the draft of those top 4 if they aren't careful.
The top 4 took advantage of it.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy. In 1 lap, just some discipline between those front leaders, and I'm telling you, they can get away.
Now, yesterday in practice, Bobby Hill and Dale Jarrett hooked up together and ran some 195, 196 mile-an-hour laps. So that's the position they're in right now. Let's see if they can catch back up to that group.
18 laps to go.
You got the guys up front playing defense. The guys in the rear, they're on offense. They're trying to get up there, but these 2 cars now, they're closing him back in there, just like you said.
Back. Yeah, those cars work well together.
90 car in 5th. The 18 car of Jarrett in 6th. Trying to close down on these leaders. Kyle Petty, Earnhardt, Ernie Irvan, and Bobby Labonte driving the Winston Cup race of his life. David Hawes.
Okay. I'm with Doug Williams, Bobby Hillen's crew chief. He's running real strong right in the last part of this race.
David, we feel right happy right now. The Pilot Myers Ford Thunderbirds hauling the furniture right now. With us over, we can stay in line and keep our position. We'll have a good finish.
Where do you want him to be on those last 2 or 3 laps?
Right where we're at, we're pretty well pleased. You know, we're going to let the front jockey around a little bit and we'll see what happens.
Is that Ford of yours got the power to win this race?
We feel like it does. We're still going to pull for it anyway. Leave it up to the good Lord.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, David.
The good Lord and Bobby Hillen.
That's right.
Bobby's going to have a whole lot to do with that.
Dale Jarrett around. Dale Jarrett looking him over on the inside, pulls back in line.
They did shake Terry Labonte off the end of that field. They'd like to shake a few more off before they get it down and get as few cars as they can, but this group we've got here, all of them are plenty strong to stay in it.
If you got 8 cars there now, and that second group of cars, which is led by Morgan Shepherd, is about to catch Terry Labonte now.
And they possibly could get up and go again. Kyle's car seems to be so good down low. When he turns down there, he pulls away. And that's amazing that he's got the strength to just get him a little distance right there.
And he does it in that second turn all the time. But here's Earnhardt catching him up.
Tell you what, that second turn, it's nice to have a lead, but when you come off turn 4 with this start-finish line all the way down here in turn 1, you need that lead coming off turn 4.
Martin made a pass on Brett Bodine coming off of turn 4.
Gets him a spot.
Moves him up to 7th. Drops Bodine to 8th. And Bodine's going to have a tough time hanging on to the draft. He's back about 3 car lengths. He's going to have to hustle to stay up there with him. He has nobody behind him to help him. You can see there that those 3 or 4 car lengths that he's behind. He might be able to, I believe he is going to be able to pick back up. Yep, there he comes down the backstretch. He's picked that draft right back up. Good drive.
The interval from this pack of 8 to the next group back now stands at 5 seconds as they drive a very smart race out here and wait it out.
Less than 15 laps to go.
14 when they come by. There's Irvin just sneaking a peek, then drops back in.
Every one of them sitting there. Now, what I need to do is pass that guy in front of me. What's that car up there going to do that's going to help me or hurt me?
The tough part about it, you'll kind of get you a game plan, and you'll make your move, and nobody else will do anything you want to do. It kind of throws everything in a big scramble, but I guarantee you these guys are plotting it right now.
There you see that second pack coming to the stripe.
There's Dale Jarrett.
Yep,
right up on the top side around Bobby Hillen. That's going to take the 6 car with him around there.
For 5th.
Hillen tried to pull in. Looks like they got together on the back straightaway. Where did they go?
So he and Brett Bodine maybe touched a little bit.
Looked like they got together. I don't see him on the tail end of that draft. I don't know if it shook them loose. Yep, they got together a little bit when they tried to come up. It looks like it's going to break them off the lead.
Well, if Brett Bodine could get a little help from Hillen, that could get him back in here. There is time for them to catch him back up if they start racing up in front here.
Yep.
They start racing each other.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of passing up front there for another few. Well, just as I say that, look at Dale Jarrett move up on the outside.
Going around Bobby Labonte.
And Mark Martin coming right with him.
That's the way Dale Jarrett's car, that was the strength of his car at Daytona Beach, Florida, when he won the 500. He was able to drive around him in the corner and just take that position away.
Well, he's done it here again.
Bobby Labonte dropped down to the inside and shuffled right back into that group.
Now, what did that do for Brett Bodine and Bobby Hillen? Well, they're still pretty far back.
There they are.
There's Brett's in a better position. Hillen's one that's about to lose the draft.
Brett's sitting there just kind of inching forward, trying to say, come on, baby, pull on back up there.
Got that thing to the floorboard.
He's on the verge of losing that draft.
9th is Morgan Shepherd. Going 10th is Bodine. 11th is Dallenbach. 12th is Sachs. And Terry Labonte is in 13th. Bill Elliott back in 14th. Gant behind him.
And boy, I'll tell you, they are doing some racing in that second pack. They're running three abreast going into turn 1.
There's that second group. There you see Jeff Bodine in the Bud Moore car.
Terry Labonte up there in the black and white car. He was in the lead draft a while back, but we noted that he had lost that draft
Sachs in between them. And here comes Sachs after Bodine.
Yes, Sachs was running second just a while ago. Moved right up in the second position and tried to make a pass or got caught on the inside and all the way back to the second group.
This is for 9th. 177 of 188 complete this time by. And the leaders are there.
Bobby Hillin has lost the draft, and Brett Bodine has just about lost the draft of the lead group as well. So now there are 6 up front. This is the second pack of cars just across the start-finish line going into turn 1. Here are those 6 cars that are in the lead pack. Kyle Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvan, Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin, and Bobby Labonte.
I tell you, when they come around this time, there's going to be 10 laps to go. We're going to get down here in just a minute and find out what they're going to do.
Pontiac, Chevy, Ford and Ford, 5th and 6th.
Who has enough gas to make it? It's going to be close. Some won't, and a couple will.
And I'll tell you something that might enter into this. If one of those cars runs out of gas and slows the guys behind him down, they're out of it too. If one of these cars runs out, whoever's behind him is going to pay that same price because they're going to have to lift and dodge him. The leaders are going to get away. It's also a pretty tricky situation to run out in front of somebody at 180 miles an hour without getting run over. You know, used to we'd see these guys in the draft when they were concerned about fuel mileage, want to get back there in second place. Now they contend to us that they can get just as good a mileage in front. And that must go back, Ned, to that part where you just leave it on the floor right where you're at.
Yeah, running to the floorboard. It doesn't matter whether you're in front or in second place.
And not only that guy up front is getting a lot better fuel mixture, getting clean air going in that carburetor. He might actually get better mileage.
Well, he might do it. Plus the fact that the cars back in there might occasionally have to back off a little bit, and every time you pat that accelerator, you put a little bit more fuel through it.
Yeah, the spoilers kick in and give that little extra shot. The extra shot right now is what you don't need.
A year ago here, Kyle Petty finished in 6th when Ernie Irvan came home first. That number 4 car, Sterling Marlin, then was in 2nd. Bill Elliott had himself a great run that day. Brought it home in 5th, just in front of Kyle. For the moment, Kyle has the advantage, coming around a complete 180 this time.
Ernie Irvan getting a little bit itchy.
Yeah, he's thinking outside.
Yeah, he was.
Pontiacs have scored 6 wins in 17 races this year. And a pretty good season of it. For the moment, Kyle Petty has him up in front of that Chevrolet contingent.
8 laps to go.
Earnhardt, Irvan, and Jarrett. Then the Ford, Mark Martin right there. From Earnhardt's viewpoint.
See, Kyle ran a little higher that time, a little different line than they saw before. I tell you what Kyle Petty's wanting is this 4 car and 3 to get the racing behind him. What he doesn't need is both of them to work on him. It's going to be a scramble at the end.
Jarrett rode back a little bit on that last lap, slipped a little bit in the turn. Looks like he's catching back up a little bit. There's Irvan. Looks like he's trying that. He's looking up there. He's testing the waters up there just to see how the car sticks and what kind of a run he can get off of that turn.
Water looks deep to me up here.
7 to go.
Stepped in, almost went over your head there.
A reminder, we'll be bringing you the conclusion of the Tour de France following our coverage of the Die Hard 500 here this afternoon. Mike Joy.
Well, as the laps are ticking, so is that fuel meter, if there would be one, in Kyle Petty's car. Car owner Felix Sabates and crew chief Robin Pemberton are conferring, and they say they are within a lap of being able to go the distance. That means either they're going to come up a lap short or they're going to be coughing on fumes when they get to the line, but they're not stopping.
After a day like today, no stopping in after this.
No, you just run her till she runs out. That's all you can do.
If you're going to stop now, you're going to lose over a lap anyway.
Yeah.
Just run her out, finish it.
Take what you get.
David Hawes.
Well, I just spoke to Larry McClure, the owner of Ernie Irvan's car, about 10 laps ago, and he told me there was no way they were going to stop and they could make it easy. But, of course, as Neil Bonner pointed out, if one of those front cars runs out of gas, who knows, that second group may yet steal the prize here at Talladega. So it's really nip and tuck. They all say they can make it, but some say they can't.
Look at Earnhardt trying that high line with Irvan. Kyle's down low. They're playing some chess right now. They're shuffling them around some different places on the track.
Earnhardt victorious yesterday. A year ago, Irvan won on Saturday, came back, won on Sunday. Earnhardt would like to duplicate that today. Here he is, moving to the inside, taking a look on the bottom.
I think he's sitting there with a grin on his face right now. I think he's where he wants to be. Now, whether he can do what he thinks he can do, I don't know. They're coming up on a big bunch of cars, lap cars. Don't know how that might affect things, but there are about 5 cars in front of them there that they will pass before this race is over.
And 5 to go, too.
And Ernie Irvin keeps looking on the outside, keeps climbing higher on the bank. This time Earnhardt goes with him. Back straightaway. All the way on the bottom is Kyle Petty, where he's been almost every lap. And now you're riding with Earnhardt as he closes in another time.
Well, Kyle Gaines, as Neil has pointed out several times, coming off of that turn, but Earnhardt running higher. He has a little bit more momentum coming off of that turn and pulls up on him.
It did. I just saw some kind of hand signal back to the 4 car. I don't know what that was all about. I didn't know if he ran up on him. Look at Earnhardt's car wiggling right there.
Boy, it really is. That's the second time it's done that coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, it's a standard deal with drivers when you come up on traffic. You throw your hand up, let them know you're coming up. That's probably what that move was.
Through lap traffic. Moving around Wilson, Michael Waltrip, Jimmy Means, Dick Trickle.
Yeah, they need to clear this traffic where they don't have to deal with this.
And here comes Irvin down on the inside of Dale Earnhardt as he came on traffic, but he couldn't make the pass. He thought he had him there for a moment, but just couldn't quite do it. Here comes Earnhardt now, and Irvin gonna come with him.
2.5 laps to go.
Boy, and they're gonna hang Kyle out. It's gonna leave that whole inside line right there. You know, maybe that hand signal I was talking about wasn't traffic. Maybe they set it up. You know, a lot of times you'll wave and say point to the back straightaway and tell a guy, let's make the move this lap.
Earnhardt singing Come Dance With Me to Ernie Irvin, and Irvin came right with him.
3 Chevrolets out front.
Jarrett goes to 3rd. Chevy up in front. Kyle's Pontiac drops to 4th. Mark Martin stays right there in that 5th spot, and Bobby Labonte in 6th.
Well, I bet you one thing, Kyle Petty's move will be to the bottom. If Jarrett goes to the bottom under him and the 42 goes with him, they got a strong car to work that bottom lane.
And look at Earnhardt begin to use the backstretch. Earnhardt has led 56 laps. Irvin has led 56 laps in this event. Down to it.
But look at Irvin closing in turn 3 and 4. That's where this long front straightaway with the start-finish line way down in turn 1 is going to play into this.
It's a little bit like he played in Daytona, remember? Earnhardt out in front, and within striking distance was Jarrett in that last shuffle.
It'll be tough for him to make those same moves and make it work here today, unless he has a whole lot more than I think he has left in that Chevrolet.
There's one down.
There's Kyle.
Down the inside.
Yeah.
And we saw him do this before. We saw him come from back there up to the front, but he had some help. Jarrett's thinking about giving him that help.
He's thinking about it.
Which lane do I go with?
Yeah.
And boy, look here now. While they're doing this, Earnhardt's getting him a little breathing room.
Well, that's the best thing could happen to Dale Earnhardt for those guys to get to racing back there side by side.
Gives him 10 car lengths.
The only thing about that now, if they get back in single file, they'll eat him alive that far out there by himself.
Yeah, because they'll get a big run on him.
Ernie just doesn't want to give it up, nor does Kyle.
And here comes Jarrett down on the inside.
White flag coming out this lap. Up there, he's the strongest guy in that bunch. Looks like there's a chance to run on Earnhardt, and there he goes to the inside.
Final lap, Kyle dropped to the bottom. Irvin goes up on top. Kyle pushes it hard.
I guarantee Irvin's going to go 3 wide to the bottom with Jarrett. There's that bottom lane open for him.
All right, this is the run for the money. Last lap. Irvin there on the inside. Earnhardt on the outside. Kyle works him over.
Who's going to help this? Which one does Kyle Petty get behind? Whoever he gets behind's got a shot to win this race. And there comes a 6. He's going to enter into it.
Martin with a good, solid run. He might be able to dip under both of them, or all 3 of them coming off that.
About 5 seconds to pay dirt. Here they come. Irvin on the inside.
That shortcut on the inside is going to be of some help.
As they come to the line, dead even.
I don't know. I think
Looks like the 3.
I think Earnhardt won the race. It was awfully close.
Or is this Talladega? Do we do this every time we race up here?
Isn't that something?
Unbelievable to run the kind of race that's been here today and finish it with a few inches.
Give it to Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt has done it again. At Talladega, the Dega Dominator pulls it off, and the 22 comes across out of gas. Here comes another car out of gas. Jeff Purvis to the line, running out of fuel. Look at this finish.
Look at the 4 wide on the back right behind him. Scattered all the way across trying to get a position there.
And so Dale Earnhardt has done it again. The 4-time winner of Talladega, the Dega Dominator, wins it for a 5th here this afternoon. And so the 1993 Die Hard 500 at Talladega Super Speedway is over, but the memories here of Davey Allison will live on.
Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above. For a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance.
A tribute to Davey Allison, a man who drove his first Winston Cup race here, won his first Winston Cup race here at Talladega, Alabama. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Dale Earnhardt rolled in here and he says, that's all it takes, just a couple of inches. How'd you win it?
By a couple of inches. It really is. You know, it was a tough day. Man, it's close racing all day long. Lucky my buddy Neil didn't get hurt. I was thankful for that. He was having a good time, though, and I don't think I scared him any. I think he's ready to go again. But, you know, his Jim Goodwin Chevrolet ran good, and all the guys did a good job. It was just...
Yeah, but how'd you beat Ernie?
I don't know. It was all racing each other. Kyle looked like he got a little loose, and I decided, well, I better go on in front of him, and I got in front of him, and then Ernie and Dale and the rest of them won the races, so I was fortunate to beat them. I got beside with Ernie, and Mark got in there behind Ernie and was trying to push him, and Kyle was behind me, and I had to go back down the bottom and suck off the side of Ernie's car to beat him back just by the inches. That's all it takes.
Great job, Bill. Congratulations.
6th win of the season, 59 of his career. Here's a better look at that finish.
What he's talking about, a suck off the side of that car. Watch him, he'll pull. He's out high. He said he pulled in right to the side of that car. It gives you just a little bit of pull. And like you said, Ned, it just takes a little bit.
Final standings here today in the Die Hard 500 at Talladega. It's Earnhardt again victorious. Ernie Irvan comes up second, Martin, Kyle Petty, and Dale Jarrett. Greg Sachs came home in 6th. Morgan Shepherd was 7th today. Harry Gant was 8th. Brett Bodine 9th, and Wally Back was 10th. Earlier today, we brought you coverage of the 1993 Tour de France. Indurain was the leader when we left. Now let's rejoin James Brown and Phil Liggett for the conclusion of that race in Paris.